A haunted veteran stumbles upon a chilling mystery that no one saw coming. A peaceful getaway at a secluded resort turns into a nightmare when he uncovers a twisted murder plot hidden beneath the surface. The man, scared from his past battles, thought he was seeking a quiet retreat to heal, but instead, he's thrown into a race against time. The more he digs, the darker the secrets become, leading him down a dangerous path that could change everything. As he gets closer to the truth, it's clear someone doesn't want him to find out. But the stakes are higher than he ever imagined, and his discovery may be the key to saving more lives, or condemning him to a fate he can't escape. Will he expose the truth before it's too late? Stay tuned to find out what happens next in this shocking and suspense-filled story. The resort, once a peaceful haven for weary travelers, had an eerie atmosphere that no one seemed to talk about. Surrounded by dense woods and far from civilization, it was the perfect place to escape the world. But for Mark, a retired Army veteran, he couldn't trust anyone, not the guests, not the staff, not even himself. Late one night, he slipped into the resort's hidden basement, a place he'd found on an old map stashed in a drawer. The walls were damp, the air thick with mold, and the deeper he went, the colder it became. His breath quickened, his heart racing as a feeling of dread washed over him. And then, in the flickering light of a lone bulb, he saw it. Rows of files, each one marked with a name. Names of people who had checked into the resort over the years, all of them marked with a red X, and one name stood out, his own. As the reality of what he'd stumbled upon settled in, Mark heard a noise behind him. Someone was there. He turned, but it was too late. The door slammed shut, locking him inside. Darkness consumed him. His pulse hammered in his ears as he realized the trap had already been set, and he was its next victim. The room was pitch black. The only sound Mark could hear was his own breath, ragged and panicked. He pounded on the door, but there was no response, no echo of his desperate cries. For a moment, all he could think about was the thick, suffocating silence that enveloped him. But then a soft voice, almost a whisper, cut through the darkness. "You're not supposed to be here." Mark froze, his blood running cold. He turned slowly, scanning the shadows, trying to make out the figure before him. A tall silhouette emerged, barely distinguishable in the gloom. It was the bartender, the young man who had looked at him with that mix of fear and recognition days earlier. But this time, there was no fear in his eyes, only resolve. You work here," Mark stammered, his heart still racing. "What's going on? Why is everyone acting like this?" The bartender took a slow step forward, his face now visible in the dim light. "It's not what you think. This place, this resort, it's not a retreat. It's a testing ground." Mark's mind reeled. Testing ground? For what? For control, the bartender replied, his voice low and urgent. For the perfect subject. The resort's owner, the one who disappeared, he didn't just vanish. He's still here, controlling everything from the shadows. And now you're part of the experiment. The bartender's words hit Mark like a cold wave. Experiment? Was he being toyed with, or was something even darker at play? He had barely time to process the meaning of the bartender's words when another sound echoed through the narrow hallway, a door creaking open behind him. Before Mark could react, "John," Mark whispered, his mind spinning. "Is he?" John was the final test subject, the bartender interrupted. "And you're next. You always were. The resort isn't just a place for healing. It's a place where people are broken, remade, and tested for something much larger. The owner, he didn't disappear. He's behind the whole thing. And now he's watching." Mark's heart skipped a beat as the monitors flickered. On one screen, a familiar figure appeared, the owner of the resort. But his face wasn't just on the screen. It was asterisk asterisk Mark's face asterisk asterisk. The room spun. Mark staggered back, eyes wide. What the hell is this? How is that? You're the real subject, the bartender said, voice shaking with something like fear. You're the one they've been grooming all along. The owner, he needed a replacement. Someone who could take his place. Mark's mind raced as the horrifying truth settled in. The entire resort, the people, the faces he'd seen, everything had been a setup. He had been chosen not just to survive, but to become the new face of the operation. The veteran who was supposed to heal, now twisted into a pawn in a larger, far-reaching game. And then the final twist hit him like a sledgehammer. As he turned to confront the bartender, he saw it. The man's face flickered, just for a split second. And in that moment, Mark realized with chilling certainty, the bartender wasn't human anymore. He was asterisk asterisk, another version of him asterisk asterisk. A copy. The owner's voice crackled through the speakers, cold and mechanical. Welcome, Mark. You're ready. It's time for the final phase. Mark's stomach dropped as the door slammed shut behind him, locking him in with his own doppelganger. The monitors around him began to blink rapidly, and the machines hummed to life. He had been part of this experiment all along. He was not a survivor, not a hero, but a subject and a copy of something far more terrifying. The experiment was never about healing. It was about replacing. And now the truth was clear. Asterisk asterisk, there could be no escape asterisk asterisk, only endless cycles of creation, destruction, and replacement. As the machines buzzed louder, Mark's reflection in the glass seemed to smirk back at him, and the horrifying realization hit. He was asterisk asterisk, already asterisk asterisk gone. And soon, everyone else would forget him, just like the others. This was his new reality. As the machines powered up, Mark's reflection in the glass grew clearer, more distinct, and yet utterly foreign. The room seemed to close in around him, the reality of his situation settling like a weight on his chest. There would be no grand escape, no heroic moment. Mark was just another cog in an endless, unfeeling machine. His identity, his struggles, his life all reduced to mere data. The owner's voice, now distant and mechanical, echoed in his mind. You're ready. The cycle continues. But in the final moments, a strange sense of calm washed over him. The people he had fought for, the lives he had tried to protect, they would never know his story. They would never see him as more than another lost soul in a forgotten place. As the machines whirred to life, Mark's last thought was simple. Asterisk asterisk, maybe this time, it would be different asterisk asterisk. And then everything went dark.